Okay, you know what? While we have these discussions going, I think it's time to talk about one more thing, and we're gonna be looking at some Reddit drama together live on Twitch, so hey, feel free to just let me know your thoughts in the comments or the chat while we go through. But basically we have 3 posts that I wanted to look at today, and they're kind of a bit all over the place, but they all have one thing in common, and that is the fact that they're talking about hardcore servers in Classic WoW, like the official hardcore servers made by Blizzard, which haven't been confirmed yet, but something's cooking behind the scenes, and there's a lot of rumors speculating right now, so basically people have very opinionated opinions, which is a good word building. Good job, Solheim. Very, very good job. But we're looking at three posts that I kind of want to look at because they're either funny, stupid, or just people trying to make drama. So let's try to check these out if I can make this happen right about now. Number 1. HC servers are absolutely going to happen, and I'll tell you why. Because it's a really, really stupid idea. Blizzard won't be able to resist following the fad. Why is it stupid? Well, streamer fad. It is like rednecks watching NASCAR, they only want to see the inevitable crash. Very small player base, no one can agree on the rules, and worst of all the number of tickets they get from people dying will be asinine. It will cost more in CS, customer support, than any potential earnings. Yeah, no, I agree. Like, I've been playing Classic Hardcore in the last couple of weeks, and I swear, the only players I see in-game are definitely streamers, bro. I haven't seen a single player play this game who's not a streamer. There's just so many streamers playing this game, and everyone is watching Hardcore just to watch streamers. Nobody's having fun, except for streamers, right? That is obviously me being sarcastic, by the way, because the hardcore servers are more popular than pretty much any server out there, except for like the big PvP clusters on Wrath Classic probably, like Gehennas for example has a massive player base, but hardcore is absolutely popping. I am in Ironforge right now at 10:21 PM on a regular weekday, and I'm seeing these people. If you just go back a couple of hours in my stream, we were literally over 200 people in Stormwind at the same time waiting for a world buff. Same thing in Booty Bay, by the way, and the game was split in 2 layers. There was 200 players plus each layer. There's a bunch of people playing, man. Anyone saying that it has a very small player base, they have no idea, dude. I'm guessing this post right here is made by someone playing Wrath Classic, and they are probably very mad that we are having fun playing the game in a different way. The fact that we are not playing Wrath probably pisses this one off. Or maybe his favorite streamer stopped streaming Wrath and started streaming Hardcore, and this guy is mad about that, probably. The rule set is the hard part for a lot of people. That is why a Bliss server would be great, because then the rule set is just there. Yeah, that is the one thing. There's 2 things about this post that I will agree with. Like, number 1, very small player base. You are stupid, bro. It has a very big player base. And streamer fad is like rednecks watching NASCAR. You're just mad because we have content. Like, it's fun to watch, it's fun to play, everything is just fun. And that apparently makes this guy mad. People having fun makes him mad. But the one thing I'll agree on is that no one can agree on the rules. We'll take more look at that in the next Reddit post we're looking at today. Plus this one right here, there will be so many tickets. Good thing, Blizzard doesn't really pay any attention to any tickets, so good job there right there. Like, they don't care, bro. You can send them 10,000 tickets per day, it goes automatically into the spam mail. It's kind of like if you have an email and it gets spammed, you don't really notice, it goes right into your spam folder. And all of these CS tickets right here, right into the spam folder, bro. It's not gonna cost them anything. Don't even worry. So the only thing I'll talk about here is that nobody can agree on the rules, and that one is definitely correct. People want a bit of everything. You have the left side, you have the right side, and you have everything in between. People want to have no grouping, others want to have some grouping, others want to have like literally free rules, you can group as much as you want. Some people want to have one lookout of every single dungeon, and like what we have right now in hardcore, just do every single dungeon once. Some people want 1 lookout per day. Some people want 5 lookouts per day. Someone wants to have like what we have in Classic WoW on Wrath Classic, for example. I think we can do 30 lookouts per day, and we can basically do everything else. So there's a lot of like mix here. You have the left side where people want to have only one lookout per dungeon, like one run of each dungeon, like every. And then you have the right side. Hopefully I'm doing this right on the video based on the webcam, but you have the right side where people can do as many dungeons as they want, and then you have 500 opinions in between the left and the right side. And where should they go? Like, where in that mix do they actually go, right? That is number 1 done. There's a bunch of weird comments on this one. I think this is a troll, but hey, worth talking about. This one is a bit more fun though. Official classic hardcore servers do need more rules than just death is permanent, and I could not agree more. So first of all, I totally get why people think that the only rule we need is that you die when you're done. I agree in many ways. Very Norwegian, Solheim, yes. But there is issues with simply having this rule, and I really think people should be open to discussing having more rules, or removing rules if you're an HC purist. Is it called an HC purist or a HC purist? No idea. Here are a few examples of things that could potentially make the experience a lot worse. Number 1, Bubble Hearth. Yes, this one I personally think should be taken away. The thing is, some players are saying that Bubble Hearth should be left alone because messing with Bubble Hearth messes with the class fantasy of things, but if Bubble Hearth is allowed, botting will be a thing, because in that case, every single bot will program their bot to play a paladin, and the second they go low on health, they will automatically Bubble Hearth, and then they will program to go AFK for 1 hour or half an hour, or whatever long they need to for their Bubble Hearth to be off cooldown. If Bubble Hearth is a thing and works the way it currently works, botting will be a thing. If you just take away Bubble Hearth, just take it away. Just take away Bubble Hearth. You don't need Bubble Hearth. Enchants like Crusader for low-level characters. Personally, I don't see this as a problem, because the only way to get a Crusader enchant on a low level is by having enough gold to buy yourself the Crusader enchant, which probably means you already have a level 60, in which case you've completed the challenge once. Why shouldn't you be able to make it easier for yourself the next time, if you want to? At the end of the day, we're here to have fun. If that makes it more fun for you, why shouldn't you? Right? 5-man groups spamming dungeons endlessly to level 60. Personally, I don't really have anything against this one. Personally, like 5-man groups spamming dungeons, number 1, it's a risk versus reward. The risk is that you're probably going to be AoE pulling a little bit more, you have some elites in the dungeon, something can go wrong at any time, but then you also have the reward of getting good loot inside the dungeon, you probably level faster, you also have instanced content, so you can basically not have to worry about quest tags, tagging mobs in the open world and so on. You can just level at your own pace, but personally, here's the thing, it's WoW. You're leveling, right? I personally think this one right here should just be allowed. If I want to spam dungeons to 60, why shouldn't I be able to? One of the things that I've mentioned in the previous video is to have achievements, so you can have an achievement plus a title for getting to 60 without ever grouping up. That way, the people that want to show off that they leveled up to level 60 without ever grouping up, they can do that, and they will get like an actual title and an achievement for doing so, to be able to like brag to others that they completed this challenge. But the game itself, I think, should be more fun than it should be challenging. The main thing here is that the official server should appeal to as many people as possible, and then allow players to maybe play the game their own way, with extra rules if they want to. They can literally copy the current achievement system we have in the hardcore add-on. If I just take this away for half a second here, go back into the game, if I go to the hardcore add-on, we already have achievements. They can copy a lot of the achievements we already have, plus the tech behind it, which tracks what you're doing. You can, for example, have the Insane Membrane achievement, which gives you achievement points for leveling up all the way to level 60 while being PvP flagged. You have a bunch of things here, like for example, never killing a mob. You have the partner up challenge. This one right here, Bloodbath, complete the hardcore challenge without at any point completing a quest, right? So you only have to grind mobs or grind dungeons, basically never doing a quest. That one right there, So you can have a bunch of different ways to level up to make the game more challenging and give you rewards for completing those challenges. Like for example, once again, titles. You can take titles we currently have in retail and give them to us in Classic. You can have the Bloodbath challenge, this one right here, and by completing this one you get a title, the Bloodthirsty, which is actually a title we have in Wrath Classic, I believe, based on getting 250,000 honorable kills, but we can have the Bloodthirsty title in Classic WoW on Hardcore by completing this exact challenge. Just as an example, I personally think achievements and titles to make the game more challenging, while letting the base game be more fun and open to play would be more interesting. So let's go back here. People basically grouping for every slightly challenging quest. I mean, that's gonna happen. If grouping is allowed, it's gonna happen. And personally, once again, I don't see the problem in this, because if I want to group up, why shouldn't I be able to? And once again, referring back to the achievement system, if you want to have a very hard challenge where getting to level 60 is the major content here, where getting to level 60 should be so difficult that people can't do it, just have it be an achievement and a title. Don't make the base game so challenging that people end up quitting. And the thing is, if I'm never able to group up with people, it's a solo experience, it's a single player experience. We're playing an MMORPG. It should have a multiplayer element. Being able to just buy any gear you want from any level, from any person, means that drops and quest rewards don't really matter for you, as you always have bis anyways. Well, once again, if you are going to buy gear from people, you probably need to have the gold first of all, in which case you probably already have a level 60 funneling you that gold, in which case I'm referring back to my first point, where if you have completed the challenge once, why shouldn't you be able to make it easier for yourself the second time, if you want to? Now, this one, you could, for example, have it so that trading opens up at level 40, or level 50, or level 60. I would be fine with it either way. I'm just trying to say I don't see the problem, really, if you include achievements. So have an achievement and a title for reaching level 60 without ever trading with anyone, or opening a mailbox like a solo self-find challenge. Have the exact hardcore challenge we have right now, all those rules, and have that be like an achievement. So by doing the challenge we're actually doing right now, give us an achievement and a sick-ass title, and maybe even some actual vanity items, right? Could be insane. That way you're still allowing people that don't want this exact challenge to play on those servers, because the thing is, they also want to play hardcore, they just don't want to play solo. I am not saying all of these things are a feature that needs to be removed, but I really think they are worth discussing. Same. One of the most talked about and obvious things is the grouping and dungeon rules. If we allow all grouping and endless dungeon spamming, then what we will see is the same thing we saw with Classic WoW's launch, people just sitting in spellcleave groups all the way to level 60 and never interacting with the world. Yes we are. Yes we are. I think so too. I actually think so too. That is exactly what we're going to see, a lot of people do, but then again, I don't really see why that's a big problem, right? I don't see why that's a big problem. If people want to grief their own leveling experience by rushing to end the game rather than enjoying the journey, let them, because obviously they care more about the end game than the leveling journey right here, which I also think, just let them do that if they really want to. Some people maybe just want to do the hardcore challenge to hardcore raid at level 60, and they should be able to, in my opinion. They still need to get to level 60, how they get there shouldn't really be a big discussion. Once again, I would much rather just love to see achievements for doing the challenge in different ways. That way the base game is open so anyone can play exactly how they want, but you also have achievements and titles that restrict your gameplay and gives you more of an open sandbox game. By having all these rules, it's a theme park. You are forced to level, like for example in the current hardcore challenge, we're basically forced to level one way. We can't farm dungeons, we're doing quests, we can grind mobs in the open world, but it's a very narrow gameplay, right? It's like a theme park. You're supposed to level a certain way. If they don't have any rules, it's more of a sandbox. They just open the game up, and then it's up to us to make the rules ourselves, either by having achievements and titles, or by using the add-on we're already using. Let me scroll down a bit here. TLDR, I agree that many of the current HC rules removes much of the social aspect, it really does, but as we have seen before, players will optimize the fun out of everything. I love that sentence, because we will. If for example, if grouping is allowed and you can farm dungeons, even if it's going to be a worse experience, if it is the path of least resistance and it's the fastest way to get to max level, almost everyone will do it, because people want to level up as fast as possible, even if it's less fun. So even if farming dungeons is less fun, if it is the easiest and fastest way to get to level 60, let me ask you now in chat, if we could farm dungeons, and that was the fastest way to get to level 60, in hardcore servers, would you? I mean, maybe someone wouldn't. I don't know if I would. Maybe I'm in a slight minority here, I have no idea. Let me read some of your thoughts as we're going through this as well. HC is about getting to 60 without dying, nothing else. Why I want people to be as hard as possible? Because right now it's a challenge. And right now it's a challenge. People want to level up this way and challenge themselves, and I think that's fun because it is in fact a challenge on the current servers, but you also have to think about the server itself isn't what makes this challenging, it is the actual challenge. So the same challenge we have right now, we can have on hardcore servers even if we don't have the rules, because we can just implement the same exact challenge over there as well, while still inviting more players to play the game and try out hardcore. You don't trust randos? Yeah, no, Ake, that is actually a good point. Like, if you're farming dungeons in Classic WoW, like when Classic WoW launched, there was no risk, right? You just knew that farming dungeons was the fastest and easiest way to get to max level, but you probably died quite a few times. When you were farming Scarlet Monastery or anything else, you probably died quite a few times. On hardcore, you have to trust the people that you're farming with, which could actually become a problem. Once again, referring back to the risk versus reward, the risk is a higher chance of dying, the reward is faster leveling. Now hey, there is one more post though. This one is kind of funny, so I want to take a look at this one too, just react to it super quickly. This one is such a good graphic, and it pretty much encapsulates the actual hardcore challenge here. In the light of the possibility of official hardcore service, this comic perfectly encapsulates non-hardcore players and boosters wanting to change the hardcore rules. It is those rules that built the challenge / community. I'm like, even though I personally want to have hardcore service without rules, this one kind of speaks to me. You do not fit in here. Like, the guys on the left are probably, like, let's say they're mage boosters or GDKP raiders or whatever from Wrath Classic, right? And you do not fit in here. Okay, we will make our own place. Why are you excluding us? And then you do not fit in here. They're basically trying to come in and take over. The thing is though, we want to find a way. You don't want to make a server, you don't want to make an explicit server only for these 3 people. Ideally, what you want to do here is you want to make a hardcore server where these 3 people are happy and these 15 people here are also happy. And you want to make a place where this guy right here can be friends with this guy, and it's not us versus them. You want to have a place where both of these parties can be happy and play the game they want. This picture right here is exactly what's going on right now. When it comes to like rules versus no rules, right? It's exactly what's going on. But for official hardcore servers, why not just make both parties happy? That will never happen. What about the achievement system that I just talked about? I feel like having achievements and titles like that would just fix pretty much everything. Because when it comes to having no rules, I feel like the people that want to have no rules want it that way because they want the game to be challenging, and they want to like, when they know they've got to level 60 by completing the challenge, they want other people to also get to level 60 by doing the same challenge. It's unfair if you have to do the challenge and I can level much more easily. That's a bit unfair, right? But what if you do your challenge and you get a unique title and a unique achievement for completing your challenge? That way you still do your challenge your way and you get bragging rights for doing that challenge. But I can still play with you, you can still play with me at max level, we can do whatever we want, and we can all be happy together. The thing is, the current drama and discussion we have right here is leading to nothing else but more drama. We need to find a way for this guy to, like this guy right here, to be friends with that guy. It shouldn't be us versus them. We need to work on a middle ground. At the end of the day, we're asking Blizzard for official hardcore servers. You shouldn't try to appeal to a very niche community when you're making an official server. Official hardcore servers could draw in so many more players than the current hardcore community if it's done right, and as WoW players, we should want these servers to perform as well as possible. At least that's what I think. It's just hardcore servers have such an opportunity to draw in so many more players than the ones that are doing the current challenge. And that is why I personally, like, I want to see hardcore servers with as few rules as possible. Because the thing is, it can draw in more people. It's not just a server for us that are already playing, because at the end of the day, we are already playing. Blizzard are making these servers as an attempt to, first of all, make us happy, of course, but also get more players, right? Hardcore is literally a niche community by definition, yes. But by adding all the rules that if they add all the rules we currently have, then they are giving a server for a niche community within a niche community, within another niche community, within another niche community. Instead of just appealing to one niche community, they're picking, if you have a circle, they're picking 2% of the circle and making those 2% happy, instead of making the entire circle happy, or finding a middle ground. Hardcore is in itself a niche community. They don't need to make hardcore servers even more niche by targeting a specific niche community inside that niche community. And that's basically my take on it. Just wanted to react to that one super quickly, because once again, I have some opinions here, and my videos are probably going to be a little bit about my opinions, but I personally do love looking at those discussions and the drama, because let's face it, if you read the comments on some Reddit posts, it is definitely drama. People are left side, right side, you know. No achievements, no titles, nothing, death equals delete, nothing else. I would be happy. You do realize you're making the exact same arguments everyone did about original Classic WoW's release in 2019, right? Am I? Or someone else? Hey yo, that's pretty much what I have for you today though. Hopefully if you're watching this on YouTube as a video afterwards, then hopefully you enjoyed the discussion, and let me know your point of view in the comments down below as well. Once again, we are actually streaming this live on Twitch and on Kick, and I have promised to do a 24-hour stream when we get to 100 followers on Kick. I just pulled up the complete wrong thing, and we're 70 out of 150. So we're basically halfway, and anyone watching this can make a huge difference. That's pretty much it though. If you enjoyed the video, once again, big thumbs up, and let me know your thoughts in the comments down below.